Oh, welcome, Mr. Kevin. Welcome to our Ielts speaking test. Please sit down. Take your seat. So, you are going abroad, isn't it? Okay, you are going for education or for a job?
Education, sir.
Okay, are you going to take your examination general or academic?
Academic, sir.
Okay, fine. As you know about the Ielts, you have part 1, part 2 and part 3. So, part 1 will be generally asking you general questions. Part 2, a topic would be given and you have to speak for 2 minutes on this topic, and part 3 is a discussion oriented questions where the candidate has to answer, right sir? So totally you'll be having around 13 to 14 minutes of question answering session. So the part 1 deals about the first introduction, and the candidate tells about himself, herself, or about the job, about the profession, about his hometown. So now coming here to the question, for example, newspapers and magazines. Newspapers and magazines. Kevin, which magazines and newspapers do you read?
I read the Times of India and the Hindu newspapers because they give a clear-cut description of the situations that are happening in our country each and every day. Because there are not just one or two things that are happening in our country. Everything, everywhere, many things are happening, and the Times and the Hindu give a clear-cut description of what the actual information is about the situation there. And every day, each and every day, we have many crises as well as, and we have many situations happening in our country, like the politics or some deaths or some tragedies. And the Hindus in Times, the thing is that they give a clear cut and a very clear thing about what the situation is and what had caused the situation. And the continuing days, they give the follow up to what the information and what is thing. And magazine I read is The Week, which is by the Hindu, with Malayalam Manorama again, and they take a sensitive topic and they give a great description about it. And the real part I like is that they are not feared of anyone, and they are so frank to talk about any topic that the country is facing each and every day. That's the newspaper and the magazine I read every day, sir.
What kind of articles are you most interested in and why?
Basically, I'm a science student, so I'm interested in science articles. And the main thing that I read, the Times and the Hindu, is that they give the recent updates of what all the inventions are being made day to day. Because our scientists are more innovative and they find more and more ways in discovering things. So I like science articles.
Have you read a newspaper or a magazine in a foreign language? When and why?
Yes, sir. Every day I'm reading it. I'm reading it in English, and it helps me more.
Do you think reading a newspaper in a foreign language, you can develop the foreign language? Do you think reading a newspaper or magazine in a foreign language is good way to learn a language? You got the question? Do you think by reading a newspaper or magazine in a foreign language, you can master that language?
Definitely, sir. Because reading a foreign language and the knowledge about a foreign language is essential for us. And we can't just go abroad with what the language that we talk in our natives. And it is important for us to learn a foreign language so that it decreases our fear and increases our confidence to face the new world. Because we are not bound in a small box. Because we are bound to travel all over the world and meet many people other than our natives. So it is important for us to learn a new language.
Now, dear Kevin, we have come here to the part 2. A topic would be given to you. You have to speak for 1 to 1.5 minutes continuously. Right? You can take notes. You'll be given 1 minute to prepare on the topic. The topic is, describe the restaurant you had enjoyed the most. Describe the restaurant that you enjoyed going to. You should say where the restaurant was, why you choose this restaurant, what type of food you ate in this restaurant, and explain why you enjoyed eating in that restaurant, right? About the restaurant, tell about the restaurant which you like the most, why do you go to the restaurant, what type of food are served over there. Now, start.
Sir, I enjoyed eating in a restaurant named The Cascade, which is situated in Ananagar. And the main food they serve is Indian, Chinese, and the tandoor. And what the dishes I like is that I like mainly the Chinese cuisine, because I'm a great fan of Chinese food. And we and my friends and my family used to visit it at least once in a month, because we like the conditions there, and we like the facilities, and the food is so delicious that it melts in our mouth, and I so like visiting there, sir.
Well, good, Kevin. We have come here to the part 3. In part 3, the questions will be based on part 2. The topic is restaurant, isn't it? Based on that, part 3 discussion questions between the examiner and the candidate. So now coming here to the question, why do you think people go to restaurant when they want to celebrate something, right? People, whenever they want to celebrate something, they go to a hotel. Whether you pass an examination, you got a job, you marry, marriage is fixed, then your friends come and ask you, come on, give me a treat. And why do people go to hotel for that? To celebrate something.
Sir, it's from our old customs and old traditions. Right from ancient times, we find a lot of traditions. Like once we're married, we just go to others' house for they give us a feast. So that tradition has been continued for many ancient times, and it's still following, sir. And it's natural and a humane thing that everyone asks for a treat once it's a birthday or any function, because they have a liking to spread the happiness towards others.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, the next question is, which are more popular in your country? Fast food restaurants or traditional restaurants? So, which are more popular in your country? Is it fast food restaurants or traditional restaurants, right? McDonald's and whatnot, a lot of restaurants have come, isn't it? So, which restaurant, what type of restaurants are famous? Is it the traditional ones like Saravana Bhavan?
Definitely, I would say that fast food is the fastest growing food chain networks in each and every country, not just in my country, not in my only state. It is the most fastest spreading chain all over the world, because people find it really cheap. So that's the thing, sir.
And why do you think that is? Why is fast food restaurants are more popular than traditional restaurants, or why traditional restaurants are still popular than fast food restaurants? Why do you think that is?
It is because they provide food at the cheapest rate, and as well as it is the tastiest food that is available. Our traditional food is also tasty, but by seeing new cuisines and new things, we have a curiosity to taste those, and that leads to us going to these fast chains.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, could you tell me why some people say food in an expensive hotel is always better than food in a cheap restaurant? You mean to say, you understand what I say? You go to a restaurant where it's costly, the food is costly, and you think it is the quality of food is good. There are certain restaurants where the price of food is less and you think the quality of food is low. Would you agree with this point of view? Do you agree with this point of view?
Yes, sir. I will agree, because looking at many factors, we can decide whether to have a food in a local cheap restaurant or to go to a hotel to have a food, sir. It is because in a local cheap restaurant, they provide us with cheap food, but the thing is that the materials they use may sometimes be of a lesser quality, or the food they are using may sometimes be stale, and there's no surety for cleanliness, sir. But in a high-end restaurant, they ensure that they provide the food in a high quality and high hygienic manner. So looking at the health issues, it is better to go for a high-end restaurant than for a cheap restaurant. So.
Now, regarding something about the restaurant and producing the food, do you think there will be a greater choice of food availabilities in shops in the future? Do you think there will be greater choice of food available in shops in the future, or will there be less choice? What do you mean by that? You go to a hotel, there are not much of variety of food, but do you think in future the varieties of food may increase?
There will be more choices, sir, because it's our people and they find new foods each and every day, and they are really innovative and very creative, and they so try to blend different foods and different cuisines together to give us something which is tasty. So we'll find more and more foods in the near future, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. Could you tell me what effects the modern technology had on the way of the food is produced? See, modern technology. What is modern technology, sir? Nowadays we have certain machines where thousands of chapatis can be made in 3 minutes, 2 minutes or 1 minute, right? So machines have come, idli, dosas, chapatis, puris. So these, what effects has modern technology had on the way food is produced?
Modern technology has indeed increased the standard of our food, sir, because it reduces time, reduces labor, and at the same time we get safe and hygienic food which can be consumed by anyone. So there's no fear of hand touch or any other unhygienic things, sir. So we get the food at the high quality rate.
Next question. How important is it for the country to be able to grow all the food it needs? How important is it for a country to grow all its food it needs? Not going for import. Not going for import. So how important is it for a country to be able to grow its own products or food products without importing any from foreign countries? Without importing any from foreign countries, right, sir?
Actually, it is a prestige for our country, sir. For every country, it is important that it should produce its own food, because they know what's the staple food that the people eat there. So it is as well as important for them to cultivate their food, and so that there are no need of dependency on any other country to produce the food which they eat, as well as it increases the prestige of our country. That's the thing, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. Nice, wonderful to meet you. Thank you very much. Take a seat. All the best.